Hi guys, we are going to get started on your radial symmetry snowflake. I hope you like the examples that I gave you. To get started today, you are going to need either your markers or watercolor paints, and you're also going to need scissors for this project. I got started on this one using markers, and you can see that I'm just coloring the coffee filter any way I like. Oh, you're also going to need a coffee filter from your art packet. I'm going to finish this up real quickly with my markers. The other option is to use your watercolors, and I'll show you that in just a minute. If you're using marker, you are also going to need a little bit of water. So I have a spray bottle here that I'm going to use, and I'm going to spray my coffee filter several times, and then I'm going to go put it over the air vent to dry. So we have to let this dry before we can work on anything else. Now the other way you can color your coffee filter is by using watercolors. So here I have my watercolors, and I've wet the colors that I want to use. I'm also going to make sure I have a wet brush, and I've actually made my coffee filter a bit wet too, so the paint will spread out really quickly. I'm not going to use very much paint, and I'm going to kind of paint it around nice and fast. You can see through my coffee filter, so I know that the paint's going to go through. You can see that I have a piece of paper down. So you can use your watercolors or your markers to add color to your coffee filter. Then let it dry. Alright, well, while my other coffee filters are drying, I'm going to show you real quickly how we're going to be creating our snowflakes. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we are going to have to fold our circle evenly. So I'm going to fold it in half first. So I'm going to take one side of the circle, bring it to the middle. I'm lining up the two curved edges. Once I have it lined up, I'm going to crease it. Now I have two corners. There's a corner on each side. I'm going to grab a hold of that corner and bring it over and match it up with the opposite corner. There we go, I've got it matched up. I'm going to smooth it out to crease it. And I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm going to hold on to my corner, fold it over, match it up, and give it a crease. This is the center of the circle. The pointiest end is the center of the circle right here. This is the outside edge of the circle over here. You can see it's a little bit curved. These are the sides that we're going to be cutting along, but we don't want to cut everything. And I'm going to use my Sharpie marker so that you'll be able to see my lines really well. I want you to use only a pencil though. So I'm going to start down here at the tip, and this is the center of the coffee filter, and I'm going to make a little upside down letter V. I'm going to go along the two edges that match here, and I'm going to make some more letter V's. Can you see that the legs of the letter V are touching the side of the coffee filter? I'm going to leave a space. I don't want my letter V's to touch. Let's see if I can make some over on this side. Gotta make sure they don't touch. Okay. So now I can cut out some shapes along the edge too. This is the edge of the circle or the edge of the snowflake. I'm gonna do some more letter V's, some big letter V's. Alright, I'm gonna see how this snowflake looks. I drew my whole snowflake just using letter V's. There's 2 at the edge. When I go to cut out my snowflake, I am using this part of the scissors. If I just try to snip with the tip of my scissors, it's very hard to cut. So I'm going to open up my scissors nice and wide, and I go slowly, and I'm cutting right along my lines. Instead of trying to turn on that sharp angle there, I took my scissors out of the paper and I brought them over to the other side. That made it really easy. Alright, you can see that my coffee filters are dry now, and the one with the marker has a lot brighter colors to it. You can kind of see where the purple and the pink, or the pink separated from the purple. And here's the one that I painted. So we're going to go ahead and start folding your coffee filter so that we can make a snowflake with radial symmetry. Alright, now remember, you're only making 1 snowflake. If you want to make more, that's great, but you only have to make 1 for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my coffee filter in half, and it's going to look like a half circle. So I'm lining up my edges and getting it just right before I crease it. Okay. Now I'm going to take the 2 corners and I'm going to fold those together. So I'm going to match up my corners and I'm going to match up the straight edge. And I'm going to crease it. And I'm going to fold again. So I'm going to take my corners and I'm going to bring my 2 corners together. Now if you wanted to, you could even fold 1 more time. Here are your corners again, and you could bring those together. But I think this is enough folds for me. So the blue tip here, this is the center of my snowflake. The purple edge is the outside edge. I am going to cut along the sides here, but I cannot cut the whole side or my snowflake will fall apart. I can also cut along this edge, the outside edge too. So I'm going to use a pencil and I'm going to draw my idea onto my coffee filter. So I think I want to come in from the side. Remember, this is my outside edge, this is my middle. I'm going to make some little curved little U shapes. Go up a little bit, another U shape to the edge, go up a little bit, and I think I'm going to make another U shape. I am going to give you some examples of different things that you can, different lines that you can draw on your coffee filter to make your snowflake. Now the most important thing is I leave a little bit of the edge, and you can see down here, right here in the blue tip, I am not cutting this area and I'm not cutting this area. I'm cutting all along the rest of the edge though, but my snowflake will hold together because I haven't cut all of the side. So I want you to check it. Do you have some area where you are not going to cut along the sides? If you do, you're good to go. I still have my coffee filter folded, and I'm gonna cut right along my line. Coffee filters are very thin, so they're not very difficult to cut. Okay, now it's time to unfold my snowflake and see how I did. So there's, I've unfolded it one time. And do you see how gentle I'm being with my coffee filter? There we go. Now, is my snowflake symmetrical? Is it the same on all sides? Let's see. If I fold it in half, they definitely match up, don't they? There we go. I could fold it in any direction and my snowflake will match up. Now I can make lots of beautiful snowflakes. I could fold it in half this direction here. And it all has symmetry. That was a pretty quick and easy project, but you learned a lot about symmetry. I'm going to just show you real quick a second snowflake because there are so many different snowflake designs. A scientist who studied snowflakes said that there are no two snowflakes that are exactly alike. So again, I'm starting by folding my coffee filter in half. I'm going to find the two corners and I'm going to match them up. And I'm going to fold it one more time, match up my corners, and crease it. I'm sure you can think of a lot of different designs. Now again, the center of my snowflake is the blue area. The edge of the circle is out here where this purple violet color is. So I want to make sure I leave a little bit of my edge when I draw out my snowflake design. Check to make sure you still have some area on the long edges that are not going to be cut. All right, I am ready to unfold my snowflake. I'm going to be very gentle and see how I did. You can experiment with coffee filters and make lots of different snowflakes. As you're cutting them, you can unfold it and check your work and refold it to continue cutting. So you can see when I cut off the pointy tip, I was cutting the center off of the snowflake. And it made a very pretty star in the middle. I think that one turned out really nice too. I hope you have fun. If you need any more coffee filters, you can email me and let me know, or you can stop by the art room and I have plenty of coffee filters. I'm sure you probably have some at your house too. I hope you have fun making some snowflakes, and I hope we get lots of snow so you can sled.